Hello and a warm welcome to the Dugout. You would be wondering, it's Saturday, why a dugout? But boss, the occasion is huge for two reasons. One, main reason we are building up for the India versus West Indies virtual shootout that's going to take place in Kolkata. There is another virtual shootout in Palakele, although not that much, but anything can happen. Number two. And number three, February 28th at 2:01 PM. History was created in India when you look at the Ranji Trophy with Jammu and Kashmir winning the Ranji Trophy. I mean, Nikhil, yes, the T20 World Cup and all of that is there. That will be the showpiece thing we are focusing on. But let us admit, J&K winning the Ranji Trophy for after being associated with 67 years is the story of 2026 already.
I agree. First thing I want to say, I saw so many keyboard warriors from Karnataka having a go at Jammu and Kashmir. I just want to send an appeal out that listen, respect the opposition. Learn from Anil Kumble, a stalwart of Karnataka cricket. Look how graceful he is in his praise for this team, where he said, listen, they were the better team. They performed better on the occasions. And, well done to Jammu and Kashmir for winning. Rather than the hardcore fans from Karnataka having a go at Jammu and Kashmir for bad sportsmanship, this, that, whatever else, that nonsense. I think that needs to be put aside. Quite frankly, they outbatted you, they outbowled you as well. Both on that flat, you could say flat track this and that, but you could not even get even halfway close to what they got in the first innings, and they frustrated you in the second innings as well. A lot of abuses flying to them that why they're continuing to bat. Good, they continued to bat. If Karnataka was there, they did that to Uttarakhand too, by the way. Let's not forget, right? They did that to Uttarakhand in the semi-final, continued to bat. So, good on J&K. They batted. They proved that they are the best team. You had a go at them and they withstood all the pressure. And truth be told, it's not a fluke or one or two games. They've beaten a very strong Karnataka team packed with India regulars or people who played for India. And they beat the team in form this entire Ranji season in Bengal in the semi-final. Yes. So it's not been one lucky day or two lucky day. They've been consistently better, and kudos to everyone, from Ajay Sharma to the ad hoc committee also that was set up. I know there's Colonel Gupta who's been there for a long time and an administrator. Mithun Manas, who's now the BCCI president, was sent as the administrator. I forget the name of the bowling coach who's been there for some time now, who worked with Akib and all these guys and got them this far. The temperament of all these players, from the Dogras, the Khajurias, the Nabis of the world, all of them, stood up on the day it was needed. And it's heartening to see, when Vidarbha was winning, but they're still a center. But when you see the smaller teams outside of a Tamil Nadu, a Karnataka, a Mumbai, a Delhi, these sort of teams winning, I mean, you do feel that it tells you the game is spreading, it's a pan-India game. So, lovely to see that performance. Much needed for Jammu and Kashmir because, it does give hope to the youngsters there who you've tried to, after 2 decades of insurgency, there's not too many opportunities. Slowly and gradually work opportunities are opening up, but this is another thing that they can aspire to. But as I said, these are things that are also building up. We knew the signs were there, from Umran may not be playing for them, or Abdul Samad may not be there, but all these players were signs that slowly and steadily the cricket there, or Rasik there, all of them, it's like developing, and sooner or later success will come, and it's come now. So well done
Indeed. And just a brief thing before we jump on the India debate. Sri Lanka won the toss and have opted to field. So that is why now the margin, that 40 plus balls, it's gone. It's only the margin now, 64 runs. Pakistan has to set up a total and restrict them to 64 runs minus of that.
I think it is not a great start for Pakistan. I think they would have preferred to have chased, because then they would have known how to bat. Now this is a precarious position, because if you want to win by a 68 run margin, you are aiming at a 200 plus total minimum, right? Now when you're going for 200, there's a good chance you have a collapse, you don't even get 140. Then if you were to dismiss them cheaply, then you might be like, oh, 170, we could have done it. But you don't have now the benefit of going back to adjusting how you bat it. So it's all in bust. You have to go and get those many runs. And what that means is you're opening yourself to a big risk. And I quite see again, I know that people are talking about Kudrat ka Nizam, this and that, but quite frankly, Siddharth, this is a game that needs a explosive batting performance, and you really haven't seen that kind of batting performance from Pakistan. Not to say that they can't beat Sri Lanka, they can, but not in the manner that everyone's expecting them to be. If it was a West Indies or a given day England or even India, you know that they have that explosive batting lineup that they can get to 240 if it's a good pitch and then try and win by that 68 run margin. Even on a flat track, I don't see this Pakistan team getting there. And from their point of view, God forbid, if Saibzada Farhan gets out, then I think it's all but done. It's curtains for them. So that's why I don't see suddenly how will it happen. Sam Ayub has not been getting runs. Suddenly he won't do it, right?
Yes.
Salman Ali Agha has not been getting runs. The highest I think he got against Namibia or someone where he got 30 something. Suddenly how will he get? And even if he gets, can he get at that rate? Babar Azam, can he bat at that rate? No, you know, right? He was there to do a job. You've got him. I think there are only two batters in this team, and for Pakistan to pull off that rare win by the margin that they want, they need to have two batters have one of their best days on the field. That's Saibzada Farhan and Fakhar Zaman. These are the only two batters that I can think of. If they have an exceptional rare day, they can get to 200 plus and then hope to dismiss Sri Lanka for 140. But no matter how you look at it, I think the toss has done them a great disservice.
Yep.
I don't know what their 11 is, and if they are playing Babar, again, no disrespect to Babar, if they're playing Babar, then they are, again, pulling themselves two steps back anyway. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what you feel about it, but I think this toss and overall the matchup, I think
Babar isn't
not
playing
happening.
today.
Isn't playing.
Isn't. No, he isn't
Yeah,
playing. Today.
that's a wise call. That's a wise call, as I said. See, for a game like this, you can't carry an anchor.
Yes.
Pakistan will be served well. If I don't know, you know if they bring that Nafe in, the wicket keeper, who's a explosive batter. Okay, then at least they've taken the right calls in that 11. So at least I'll give them that. So they're at least putting their best foot forward. Yet I think still this is a rare 5% sort of a chance because of it being Pakistan and because of the thing. Any other team, maybe. Who knows on a given day.
Yeah, but then shifting our attention from Palakkele to Colombo, Nikhil, you
what do you think? You think any chance for Pakistan now would win by 68 runs?
I had said 10%. I'll reduce it to 5% now with the toss.
Yeah.
From 10%, I'll reduce it to 5.
And you know, this also, I'm good that Sri Lanka won the toss and done the right thing, because if they had not done it and allowed Pakistan to chase, it would have given credence to so much gossip on social media.
Oh.
Where people, even Indian fans, were suggesting, I don't know if you saw, that Sri Lanka can lose on purpose.
Yes.
Why? Because Sri Lanka, for their own economy, would want a semi-final or a final to happen in Sri Lanka. The only way it can now happen is if Pakistan continue, because Sri Lanka are out. And that way they might get another India-Pakistan match, which is going to be great for their economy. So they have something to benefit. They are out anyway. So they are going to lose on purpose. Good, they've won the toss. And, you know, had they won the toss and allowed Pakistan to chase, then the gossip would have multiplied multiple times. There you go, you know. So these talks of... No, but I can't believe how can people come up with these theories. I just want to put two things. One, I think no team would want to do that. They all play for their pride. Why would they want to do anyone any favor? Secondly, Sri Lanka playing at home. Yeah. And Sri Lanka have been under the pump after losing these matches. They have themselves to answer their fans who have been going after them. So if you want to take that heat off yourself, then Sri Lankan players would want to at least give a parting winning performance to the fans. So that will ease some pressure on them. And thirdly, the international cricketers, they you know, every time they go out to play, they're not there to do favors and look at you know, other teams and what they need to do. And third, and the most important thing, even if you're looking at these conspiracy angles and, you know, Pakistan and this and that, I just want to tell you that in the whole boardroom politics of BCCI, PCB and Sri Lankan cricket board. Sri Lankan board has been siding with
With the
India, so
BCCI.
they wouldn't want to jeopardize anyway. Not that they're thinking of doing India a favor. I don't think anything is like that is happening. But just for the sake of conspiracy theory makers, I just want to put that also on record. So I don't see that happening. If Pakistan do pull off a minor miracle, it will not be down to what Sri Lanka are doing on purpose. It will be down to some exceptional cricket that they play. But I repeat, I don't see that happening. And I'm purely talking cricket. And I'm not talking as an Indian fan. I don't want to be like Mohammad Amir, who I
Oh.
saw yesterday. I mean, I can't believe a former cricketer would be like, he was asked, like, will Pakistan make it? He said, yeah, they'll make it. But even if they don't make it, I don't care if Pakistan don't make it, so long as India don't make it. I mean, so why
Yeah.
if that is his comment, and if he's going to behave like a social media troll, being a former player, I just want to point one thing out, that for anyone who now starts paying attention and taking his words seriously about Abhishek Sharma's technique or whether he's a slogger or anything like that, now please put this into perspective. His opinion about Abhishek Sharma did not come out of because of any cricket nuance. It came out primarily because of his hatred for India doing well or an Indian player doing well. This is
Yeah.
pretty obvious now, right? I
Pretty.
would take his opinion otherwise as a former cricketer. And there are some Pakistani cricketers like Hafiz and all who I listen to who make cricketing points. And, because they played cricket at the highest level, as a cricket fan myself, I want to hear some insights, some good logic insights. And you enjoy cricketing opinion. Like Wasim Akram, I listen to so many times in commentary or programs. He gives you insights that you're like, he's bringing his experience in, which is a lesson for you and I as well.
Yeah.
Then I take those opinions seriously. I'm not going to take opinions seriously from a player like Mohammad Amir once he says this, that Pakistan will reach or reach, I don't know. So long as India doesn't reach, I'm happy. Then this is the same gentleman. Next time you talk about the technique of a Sanju or call Abhishek a slogger or things like that, please, anyone who's watching also, I'd want you to know, please be careful of whose opinion you're listening to and what their mindset is when they give their opinion. Is it really cricketing logic or, reading of the game, or is it based on their personal opinion?
Seriously, I mean, that's why anything from Pakistan, you have to take it with bags of salt. Anything that you have to
No,
look at it.
but Siddharth, I just mentioned there are some
Yeah.
opinions. Some people, I respect their cricketing opinion. I don't see Pakistan or India or whatever. So long as that person comes up with good insights, and you see he's been fair and neutral
Yep.
and calls things the way it is. I'm not saying he cannot be critical of India. If you're critical of India on basis of you see some loopholes, we also criticize the Indian team. So if a Pakistani does too, I'm looking at it, his intention, or is the consistency, or is it based on actual cricket knowledge, or is it based on because I don't like your face, so I'll do it.
Yeah, that's what. But again, it's just hanging by a thread at this point in time when you look at what's going to happen in Palakele.
Yeah.
But now we shift our attention about 1,000 miles north to the Garden of Eden, and Nikhil in the dugout yesterday had promised a grand big preview, and that's what we're going to do. The big preview, India versus West Indies. Although it's an optional practice session, but Ryan Tendeskate had said that everybody's there and everybody's going to practice. The press conference happened at 5:30, in which Ryan Tendeskate had mentioned he spoke about Tilak, he spoke about Sanju, he spoke about Varun Chakravarti. He also gave an insight over over Rinku Singh. What is his status at this point in time? And are West Indies being taken very lightly? So, yeah, when you look at it, the build-up has already begun from Kolkata. You can check out the ground report
So,
also.
so I have few questions, and since you've been keeping abreast with whatever is happening, so first things first, give us an update about Rinku Singh.
So, Rinku Singh will join the team tonight. He is not reached yet. At the time of doing the press conference, Ryan Tendeskate mentioned he was not there. But he is expected to join tonight. That is the latest
Okay.
update we have gotten you at this point.
Okay, and just again, because thanks for that update. And again, I saw this, and I wanted to really speak about it. Is I saw a lot of people trolling Gautam Gambhir about why was Rinku Singh called for the last game if you're not going to play him in these times. Why did you? I just want to say a few things. Is what I've known. We've also criticized the coach or the think tank when they made errors, but for everything, if you do that, that's also being really biased
Yeah.
and not looking at the merit of the case. Just want to tell you that Rinku was asked for the last game whether he would want to come back when his father was in a serious condition. Rinku insisted that no, he wants to be with the team, right? That's first thing. Secondly, there was like if Rinku is dropped, you could have told him and things like that. I'm sure they may or may not have told him, but there is a utility of Rinku Singh, and I just want to tell that to our viewers as well. Why you would still need a Rinku, and in this case, why even though his father just passed away, many might want him to be there, but I think they would have asked him. And as far as I know, he himself has said that no, he would rather be with his team. We all remember Virat Kohli, going and batting when his father had passed away. Similarly, he wants to be committed to the team. He wants to put the Indian team forward just in case they need him. And even if they're not playing him in the 11, that Indian team uses him as a strategy of bringing him as a fielder. And boy, is he a gun fielder. And if the rules allow you to do that, many other teams also do it. India also 100% will do this. Where and when they will have a chance to bring Rinku onto the field, even if he's not part of the 11, they'll bring him onto the field and he will be fielding, as you saw in that last game in Chennai too, right? So that's one utility that he has. That's why the Indian team would need him. And secondly, God forbid, there is an injury on the morning of the match, which has happened in the past as well. How do you then suddenly replace a batter like Rinku, right? So you might need him then. That's why you have 15 players all the time there, because on the morning somebody has a pull, Dubey has it, whatever, somebody has it. You may not want to go with Washington Sundar because he may not be able to play that role of batting at 7 that a Rinku can. Rinku brings something else with him. So there is a possibility India might need him. So last moment also he can be called into play. So these are areas that you can't take for granted. And if he is happy to be part of the team, which he is, sometimes, by the way, people want to continue with their regular work so that it keeps your mind off what has happened, right? So I'm sure if he's there with the team, it will help him, just take his mind off the immeasurable loss that he's just suffered, and just carry on. And then maybe after this game, he might still want to head back for some other rituals that need to be performed. He can do it. So my point is, before we find out why it's happened, what is the reason behind it, whether Rinku himself wants to come or not, let's not just start finding scapegoats and attacking them.
Yep. Then Ryan Tendeskate spoke about Varun Chakravarti and Tilak Varma. And on Varun, I think he gave a very interesting comment on it. He said, Varun has got a lot of success in Eden Gardens. He is our attacking option here. We have strategies to deploy him in different phases. This is a backing that he's given because, see, Varun is a concern. He's not been the Varun Chakravarti that you had prior to this T20 World Cup. He was on song before the T20 World Cup. Here, kind of last 2-3 games, he's been off the boil. So, at Eden Gardens, different strategic points, he is our attacking option here. That's a vote of confidence that he's given at this point to Varun Chakravarti.
This doesn't surprise me at all, Siddharth. I think there was no way you're dropping Varun Chakravarti. Also, this is going to be his home ground.
Yep.
And I think the more important facet is this, because we saw with South Africa, Ahmedabad was kind of their home ground. It really benefited them. They read the conditions better. This is not so much of a home ground for West Indies, but they have the advantage of having played 2 games here, whereas India are playing the first game. So I don't know whether that plays out as an advantage, but I believe the pitch on offer, and that's going to be a talking point, the pitch on offer is a high-scoring encounter. This is the pitch that was used for the second match of this tournament, the Scotland game, where I think 200 was breached. That's the same strip that they are using for this game, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is a Scotland-Italy game. You can see the visuals that is there. Yeah, it is the same pitch that has been there. It has got a fair covering. I mean, it will be a flat deck. The grass, whatever you see, it will be dried out by the night time at this point in time. And yeah, I think it will be a belter, because that Italy game, when we saw Scotland-Italy, they made 200, but Italy responded with a 180 plus score. So it was a rather close game in that particular sense. So it will be a high scoring one. And even when you look at it, Sujoy Mukherjee, who's the CAB pitch curator there, our correspondent Anirban Sinha Roy had spoken with him. He said it will be a 200 plus wicket. That much he is guaranteed. That it is a 200 plus wicket. It will be good for batting for both sides throughout the entire game.
I know. So, just looking at the pitch and just adding on to the pitch, one, it's a high scoring pitch. And secondly, I think this is the same strip. And looking at the games that have happened, it helps fast bowlers to begin with. I remember Jofra Archer had a very good time in a game that England played here. So Kolkata now has been helping some fast bowling as well initially. So it gets you a bit of a swing. And then it also helps spinners later on. So it's a very good pitch in the sense it's got everything for batters, it's got for fast bowlers, it's got for spinners. And I think looking at the conditions in the pitch, I think India is going to be playing the same 11 that they played the last game in Chennai, which was again a high scoring pitch. Which also means that if anyone was thinking of getting an extra spinner for Arshdeep, that's also not going to happen, or for any other fast bowler. I don't think they, or a Washington or whatever, these options were open. But I don't think they're going to get an extra uh, spin bowler. They will need their fast bowlers in Arshdeep, Bumrah to do well. Even Hardik Pandya will come into the game whenever conditions are helpful. He does well. Dubey, who's been a bit of a concern, but might be needed here too because it helps fast bowlers, also helps spinners. So to get that balance, I think Varun Chakravarti, Akshar, Dubey, Hardik, Bumrah, as well as Arshdeep, that will be the perfect combination for India. The same combination that they won the last game. Looking at this pitch, and I think the high-scoring pitch is something that they should have gotten in Ahmedabad. It would have suited them well. I know a lot of people are going to be saying that West Indies, do you want to take a risk? They have good batters down the order. They can smash 200 plus. So, this is the problem with India. Every time you feared other people's batting and you tried to prepare tacky pitches to help your spinners, it backfired on your batting. Now, the thing is, India's batting is exceptional. It can match any batting, including West Indies. That, dare I say, on a good pitch will be better than that on most occasions. So, India needs to back their strength, go on a good batting pitch. If they score a lot of runs, you'll score more than that. I have this faith in this Indian batting. Plus, I think the Indian bowling is a much better, well-rounded unit. So even on a flat pitch, they might find ways to control West Indian batters more than the West Indian bowling. That's my thing. So I think this is a good pitch to go with, a good high-scoring pitch, rather than the pitch that we had in Ahmedabad versus South Africa. I think it favors the Indian team. I don't know what you think of the pitch and whose favor does it play out in.
See, the pitch, if it goes on the Chennai template, because see, India finally got all their batters back in form in the Chennai encounter. If this is the kind of pitch, then I think India, their confidence is on the right track. And with the smaller dimensions that you got at Eden Gardens, I mean, I think the leg side boundary is smaller. The straight boundaries are longer. Fine leg, third man, that is shorter. So, with the flat pitch that is there, the Indian batters can then explore a whole range of strokes that is there. And looking at the way how they notched up 256 against Zimbabwe, against the West Indies, remember, a 250, 260 might not be possible, but if it is 200, 210, it will serve them well for the remainder of this T20 World Cup. Because you will play once a semi-final Mumbai. Mumbai at this time, I think you will not go back to the fresh wicket that was there in the start of the tournament. You will have a flatter wicket at this point in time as well. Because West Indies scored 254 even in Mumbai. So now the pitch is getting flatter there as well. So I think if India do well here, it will serve their confidence brilliantly. So yeah, a flat wicket, a promise of a 200 plus with Dew coming in later. I think it is all bases covered for the Indian batting lineup. And it is a question of which streak is going to end. West Indies have not lost a T20 World Cup match in Kolkata. India haven't lost in Kolkata for 14 years. The last loss they had was in 2012 against England. That was the only loss they had. Otherwise, they have been winning in Kolkata on a consistent basis. So, it is a high stakes situation, but if the pitch is a 200 plus belter, the Indian batters are edging the West Indies because India can adapt. West Indies, what they showed in Ahmedabad, it was either 7th gear or out. The application and the will to grind it out, only Jason Holder and to a certain extent, when you look at it, even Romario Shepherd, he showed it. No one else showed it. 6 or out, 4 or out. That is the thing that West Indies will fall into if you go by that against this Indian bowling lineup.
I mean, the worrying bit though is that I believe there's going to be a lot of dew. I think that is something that has been confirmed there. And I saw that Dew Care, that
Dew Cure
thing that they used in Dew Cure, whatever, that magic spray bought from abroad, very expensive. that did its trick in Chennai. It controlled the dew, even though dew was expected there. I hope that is used here as well, because it's suddenly, if West Indies then is chasing, it can then be a lock. I mean, why West Indies? I mean, I'm just looking at it fairly. For any team batting second, it becomes a huge advantage, right? And then you don't want that situation to happen in a virtual quarterfinal. So I just hope that is being used. I haven't seen any reports that are suggesting that. I mean, we had reported that Chennai they were going to be using, and they did. But I just hope that they're using it here for the sake of both teams, because you want the better team to go. Suddenly, if dew plays a factor, and then it's not fair, and not for a knockout game as it's turned out to be. So I hope that is being used. I don't know whether
I
that's
think it
the
will be used. I think it will be used after the practice session's over. It takes some time for it to settle, and then maybe they'll have one more spring before the game, and I think it will be done. That is the thing we are looking at.
okay. Before we take the questions, let's have the predictions.
Oh, well, I think India will again bat first. I mean, look at the scores that have come in this particular venue: 152, 155, 202, 178, 207, 134, 165, 123. Predicting a score in this particular range, and if you look at it, two of them were night games or a mid afternoon game when you look at it. I think India will bat first, get to 200 and win the game.
Hmm. See, I'll share something with you guys. Not that I believe in astronomy a lot, but I was just going through um predictions. So based on the charts,
Oh,
the nakshatra, the planets, so on astro. I'm not saying. Do you want to know what that is predicting? What the charts are predicting?
please. If it is
The
mind
charts
blowing.
charts are predicting a West Indies victory. So
Ah,
I saw the Jyoti's on internet do the thing that is predicting a West Indies win. But as I said, I'm not a big believer in that. I'm a believer on practicality, a believer in science, and believer of what I see. Because I'm a believer in science, so my prediction is that if that due cure is not being used, then the team batting second is winning. Doesn't matter if it's India, if it's West Indies, if the due does set in as it's expected to, and that magic lotion is not being used, then the team batting second is going to win. Then I'm not looking at Astro, I'm not looking at cricketing logic, nothing. That is going to happen. But I hope that lotion would be used today and tomorrow, because in Chennai they started using it for 3 days in a row so that it has an effect, and it did have an effect. I just hope they're doing it here, and if that is the case, they do it, and dew doesn't play a part. And if it's even Steven in that case, then my cricketing acumen is going with India, because I think in terms of both batting and bowling, I know West Indies bat deep. They have a good batting lineup, dangerous players, but so is India. And even if I was to say that it's a dead heat in the batting, though I'll still give India a marginal edge, but even if I go dead heat in the batting, in the bowling department, I'm giving India a slight edge with the Arshdeep, a Bumrah, a Varun, even though he's not been in form. And even Hardik, on occasions, he does step up. And Akshar also, who's been taking wickets continuously. I see a much more improved bowling lineup in India than West Indies. So putting that together, I give India the edge to win this. So, which means the Mumbai semi-final, which you were looking forward to, should happen.
yeah,
But
5th March.
again, as I said, that due thing needs to be put into control. Maybe the Astro guys know that due cure is not being used, and that's why the prediction is West Indies will win, because the stars say they might win the toss, and and anyway, India's record with tosses is so poor anyway.
Indeed, indeed. So this is an issue that we are looking at this point in time. So yeah, I put West Indies ahead for one simple reason. I put India ahead because West Indies is spin bowling lineup. They don't have the proper spinners. With Sanju at the top, Roston Chase has been rendered ineffective. You can't use both Akil and Gudakesh Moti. So that is why the spin bowling lineup has been compromised. And their pacers, Shamar has been way off the boil. Their dibbly-dobblies could do the job in Kolkata, but I'm not so sure about that. So that is the reason. It's India for me in a big way. Let's take some comments. Rakesh Bhushan. Did India peak a year earlier? All of a sudden, we are trying to address too many issues. I don't remember during the Rohit Sharma tenure in ICC Cup, he used to play unchanged 11. Is Gambhir advocating changes or is it Sky?
See, India also actually did not really panic or make any changes. I think the one change that they made was a tactical change of bringing a right-hander. And my point is, if that has been your issue and that has been your problem, then it's better to fix it, no, rather than being stubborn that I won't make those changes, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I don't see that much of it being an issue. Mostly they've gone. They did blunder with their changes. That Washington Sundar change with Akshar Patel, and we all criticized it. But the last that, and they paid a price for it. I agree. But and the other change they made, Arshdeep sit for Kuldeep. That was also a good tactical change that worked in his favor. So something works, some didn't. I think the Sanju Samson change also worked tactically.
Yep. See, and also I think conditions also play a big role. I mean, Rohit didn't have to change that much because probably he had all bases covered. It was just on that one bad day you would get. That is how it would be. That one bad day you would lose, and that bad day unfortunately came in the semi-final or the final at this stage. So, yeah, that is there. But then India didn't win. That is the one major thing. India won under Rohit in the 2024 situation and in 2025. But apart from that, you always did struggle, and it took a lot of changes after that. Sarat Chandra is saying, Nick sir, Pak have better chance of defending score of X runs of margin than chasing, which is impossible. If they are good to chase, they can do well in first innings too. They have nothing to lose, I feel.
I mean, okay, fair. I mean, that could be true. But see, for that, okay, is Pakistan making 200? Ask me, no. Right?
No.
So what is a realistic target, you tell me, they get to? From this
150.
Pakistani batter, no, okay, let's say they have a good day. If Saif Zara Farhan
180.
has, okay, 170, 180. You have to dismiss Sri Lanka for 120. I don't think is happening. That happens when the team that's chasing also is going all out to, get a big total in that sense. I think right now they'll be mindful of the fact that Pakistan is going to bowl all their good bowlers right on top. So why take too many risks? Let's wait for, the 13 over mark to go. Then they'll bring in their weaker bowlers. And even if we have to, get runs quickly later, they'll do it. So team will also strategize like that. So that's why I'm saying chances of that happening are very, very rare. But we'll have a better, view on this in the mid-inning once the game is done.
Yep, that's true. And AK user saying, will Gambhir drop Dube to play Sundar to patch the sixth bowler weakness? No.
I don't think so. The Dube, the batter, can't be dropped. Please, you need him. He's been in good form. When you want to take off the spinners, he's the thing. And Washi, the batter, as good as he is really not a direct replacement for Dube there.
Yep, indeed. What's that other comment, Pawan? Yeah. Rakesh Bhushan saying, West Indies have nothing to lose. They don't carry public pressure. It's a virtual quarterfinal, as MSD said in a recent interaction, that lack of experience and due factor could be a factor. Will these two factors are loaded heavily?
No, I completely agree. But the due factor is nothing that you can do about, right? What do you do? I mentioned the due factor anyway. Then that becomes a big toss to win. And India's record in tosses. So that doesn't inspire too much confidence in me. But the pressure thing is right. I pointed that out earlier as well. Yes. In big games, pressure matters. And I know that overseas teams tend to take less pressure because of expectations compared to Indian team. But let's not forget, even West Indies have a lot to play for, right? It is a virtual quarterfinal for them as well. And all of these players want to do well for their countries. Plus, it raises their stock value when it comes to franchise leagues as well. Everyone wants to perform good. Yes. So that pressure is there. That they carry that pressure.
Absolutely. And Anshu Mishra, Nick sir, WC23, WT24, CT25, and now WT26. That's 4 tournaments, and the only teams Pakistan has beaten in these 4 tournaments are NZ, WC2020 rain shortened game, and SL. Rest are all against the associates. But it didn't win against one associate, which was the US, where it really mattered in 2024. So yeah, it's not looking good at this point for Pakistan at all. High time, Rakesh Bhushan saying, high time Sky contributes in a meaningful encounter. Cameos of 30s and 40s is not serving purpose. High time he takes the bull by its horns. Too harsh.
I mean, see, there is a sample size is rest around like very important games or knockouts or things. He hasn't really stepped up, which is fair. Maybe it's time for him to do it. But to say that he's not played crucial innings, that's also not true. He has on many occasions.
US game.
Yeah, 2-3 matches, even in that New Zealand series, and even the Pakistan game, by the way, was a very crucial knock that he played. You could have had a collapse there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he has. But, yeah, you'd want him. He's your top batter. He's your captain. You want him to step up. Maybe, tomorrow is the day. He likes ball really coming onto the bat. So, and West Indian bowlers are good, but not as sharp as the South Africans when it comes to slower balls that troubled him. So, with a bit of pace on by Shamar and co, he may enjoy that.
Plus, fine leg and third man are really short boundaries. Surya loves the scoop. So that is why he can use that particular shot to his advantage at this stage. Sarat Chandra is saying, if New Zealand, SA, England, West Indies come, what is the schedule of SF? Same as when India play or change of venues? No, same as when India play. Same. 4th will be in Kolkata, 5th will be in Mumbai. That is the thing. So it is only this. So South Africa versus, you may say, New Zealand will happen in Kolkata. West Indies versus England might happen in Mumbai. Repeat of the semi-final, of the first round match that happened. So yeah, that is the thing. Any other comments, Pawan? Okay. Okay, you just got one. Okay. Connect to Karthik is saying, Reed Tilak Abhi got back in form because of video analysis. Did they lose video files of Sanju's weird footwork and dismissals at deep mid-wicket square leg? Yeah, 2 matches he's fallen to the mid-wicket guy. 2 matches, Namibia and Zimbabwe.
Yeah, but sometimes you have the video, you discuss it with the batter, but execution doesn't happen. Let's not forget there's another element to it.
Correct. So yeah, big game indeed, and I hope Sanju doesn't fall to the leg side again like how he's done after a solid 20 in that sense. Final comment we'll take, Rahul, not Dravid. Nikhil, is Tilak's stance too side on, which is hindering him to playing big shots against spin on middle stumps? He's not able to generate power.
That's a good point. It is a good point. Like in this current T20, setup, you like a bit open stance. I mean, most batters are advised for a bit open stance because it opens up the entire field for them. Unlike the longer format, where you just are expected to play in the V or in your zone. So I agree that this is a modern day thing where a slightly open stance tends to work. I know of a lot of batters who've done this. They may have started with a lot of side on, and even that side on in one days and to an extent, of course, in Test cricket, but in T20s, open it up. It's not a bad option. He can, but there's certain players whose technique then falls, on the wayside and then they start feeling a bit uncomfortable if they completely change their stance. So I'm guessing it'll be a good question to ask Tilak itself whether he's tried it or not. And when he's seeing everyone else do it around him, should he be doing it or not? So it'd be great to hear his insight. But I have a feeling it's not that he wouldn't have thought about it. Maybe there are certain compulsions, or he feels there are more disadvantages than advantages. So maybe that's why he doesn't opt for it.
Yeah. But no one's forgotten the last time what happened at the Eden, because Rakesh Bhushan saying last time Saurav Ganguly dished a spinning track as per the wishes of the BCCI. He got the test match at the Eden Gardens. Will he abide by the home team request or bow down to the BCCI diktat? Why should he bow down? It's the curator who will decide, na? Isn't it?
No, home team and BCCI are both same, no?
Yeah. It is. The home team request or bow to BCCI diktat. That's the same, yeah. But will they do that in an ICC event? Of course, they tried in 2023.
There is no point looking at what might happen. The thing is, we already know the kind of pitch that is on offer. And we've shared that, right? That's the pitch you're going to get. It's a good batting pitch that also helps both sort of bowling as well. So, look forward to a high-scoring encounter.
Yep. That's what we'll be looking forward to, a high-scoring encounter. So, yeah. one night's sleep away. India versus West Indies in Kolkata. But our attention will also be on this game. It will be Pakistan, Sri Lanka. We'll be back for the mid innings also, because see, that's when we'll come to know where is Pakistan's situation. Are they staying in this T20 World Cup or headed back home? So join us then at that time from me, Nikhil, and
of course the post match as well. We're
post
not
match,
just
of
doing
course, we'll be
beginning.
there. Yep, all of us, a detailed discussion on what went wrong. And see you soon. Lots of content on Sports Today coming up. And from me and Nikhil, it's bye bye. See you soon.